Hey, this is Tim for 11 Heroes. Welcome to our new format, Analyzing the Regular on 11 Heroes. In this format, we would like to show you the most successful players in daily fantasy football in Europe right now. And we want to analyze their teams and maybe get behind the source which the player had. So I would say let's start. We kick it off today with the regular Yourname. He's at the moment definitely top 3 in Europe in daily fantasy football, in my opinion at least. He has over 5 digits in winnings and is really, even though, one of the most winning regulars. So he's definitely a player we can watch, and I would say let's go into his teams. We picked as a tournament the Grand Weekend on Fantasy Bet, where Yourname was able to finish in first place, able to finish in third place, and able to finish in fifth place, and I believe he has some other finishes in the money too, but we'll concentrate on his first 3 teams. So let's get right into the action, and we start with a winning team. First thing which comes to mind is here he plays a 3-5-2 formation, which is a little unusual or uncommon to the 3-4-3 formation, which is definitely more common. What comes to mind too is that he does not care about his bench, at least only with one player. I guess Matip was a choice. He did not recognize that Matip was injured, as did many other players not too on Saturday, I guess. So that's a common mistake which can happen obviously because we were not informed before that. Unusual to pick Pickford over Grant of Stoke. Grant had a much higher clean sheet chance. So this is kind of an unusual choice because Valdez was playing at Monday, so there were 2 days in which Valdez could be injured. So not picking Grant here is kind of unusual and seems a little lazy to me. So I think he just picked Matip and maybe a pick on Pickford. Oh, pick on Pickford. Say that 3 times. Very hard for a non-native speaker. But yeah, the thing is he did not pick Grant, which is really uncommon. And then obviously Graben is not a good pick too. There, for example, as a forward would Anshibe be the much better pick for 4.5 million. And Tarkovsky, I don't think he was initially he should be picked, but he's actually a better choice than some other players could be with autocomplete, but I guess he just autocompleted his lineup, so we'll never know, but it comes to mind that this was the case. Let's go to the first choice of his starting 11, which is Valdez in the goal. I think it's a pretty good pick. Obviously, Valdez was playing with Middlesbrough against Hull in home game, and he has very good clean sheet chances. Also, the referee was Dean, and he's like a referee who likes to give penalties, so there would be the chance for Valdez to get some extra points. The choice of Berrigan obviously is he's a wing defender. I don't know if you can say that, but he's a lot of the opponents have and has some potential bonus points in him, which on this day he got 2. So if you can see 2 bonus points. Yeah, it's pretty standard. Walker, obviously a bonus point magnet, definitely a good pick. And Brandt was a pick where I was a little bit keen, but I made the same pick last week and got embarrassed because McAuley was scoring and Brandt not. So this week I went for McAuley, and obviously Brandt scored. So yeah, that's the game. But Brandt should be slightly more plus EV in his appearances because he's playing out of line. He's playing in the midfield, offensive midfield, and is rated as a defender on Fantasy Bet, which gives him a lot of extra value and makes him even more likely to get the important bonus points. So this is a pretty nice decision, and the formation of his defense in a 2+1+1 is not that uncommon because he's able, by splitting his defensive players, in getting the maximum of bonus points. Obviously, this is a tactic which you want to use in more big fields, and he decided that 100 fields entrance is a big enough field to try that. Obviously, if the fields are a little smaller, let's say 50 to 75, taking a defensive block is a much better option. There are discussions when it stops being a better option and when bonus points come into play when the EV is higher. That's a little different. The goalie is not part of the 1-1-1 split because obviously a goalkeeper does not get that often bonus points. So he's a little out of that calculation. And with Valdez, he had a keeper who was able, obviously, in the last games to get some good saves and extra points through that. So I think Valdez is a pretty fine choice, and the defenders are all pretty nice choices. So let's went to the midfield where we got Alexis Sanchez. Definitely don't need to talk much about him because he's pretty much a no-brainer choice at this match day. I saw him, I guess, maybe in every team. So yeah, he's not that likely that we have to talk much about him. Sadio Mane is a little more interesting choice. He got the nod ahead of Firmino, I guess, in this team. And I like that because Firmino was injured and it was not safe to say if he was able to play 90 minutes. And Mane plays a pretty convincing season and is in very good shape. So I like these decisions. We'll skip Redmond and come to him later. So we go over to Özil, which is a little interesting choice because Özil has in his peak performance not the high same points as, for example, Walcott has. But he is in general a higher EV because he's able to provide a lot of assists. So here, again, with the defenders on the outside positions, he goes for a system which brings him consistent points and bonus points, which is Özil a provider too. So very consistent decisions. And with Eriksen, he completes this because Son has maybe a little higher EV and peak performance than Eriksen. But in general, Eriksen will be more likely to score constant assists than Son, who will be scoring and then not scoring. So definitely like his decision here, because in this team this fits. But obviously you could name Son as the most likely alternative for Eriksen, because Eriksen played a poor season until now. I think he only had one assist or one goal. It was not really good though for his kind of attitude. Redmond was an interesting choice. He definitely expected a solid win or maybe even a big win of Southampton against Palace, which most players did. But either Redmond nor Austin were able to score good. But this was really unexpected because Southampton was able to beat at Wednesday Arsenal's B team in the cup. But yeah, I didn't expect that as well, and yeah, I was very surprised too. I think both choices are pretty much fine because Redmond usually plays a lot of time before he got substituted out, and Austin is a penalty shooter as well, so definitely like his decisions. Going with Kane by providing Eriksen assists and Walker assists, Kane is a perfect choice of weapon here for the captain spot, and I definitely like that too. Considering that maybe Sanchez has a higher peak performance, Kane has more solid points in this game week, and yeah, I think he was the clear captain for most players, for me as well. So definitely like his choice here. So this was Team 1, and let's go to the team which took 3rd place and see the changes here. We see definitely the more convenient 3+1 split in the defense here, which I like more in these kinds of fields. I think it's a lot of more consistency, and it's just a big risk, but if it pays off, it pays off. In this case, it did not pay off, but I think he did also a little mistake by nominating Thorsten. He's not really known for being a bonus point magnet, and yeah, I don't think I see him scoring too many assists. I think McAuley would be a much better alternative. And even if you don't like McAuley because everybody else will be playing him, you could name Evans, who was able, for example, with Northern Ireland to provide an assist as well. So I would went here for Evans, who actually scored. It was pretty lucky, but yeah, I think McAuley would be the best EV choice here in this case, for sure. And seeing this team, with Kane, with just one defender. I don't like the Ericsson captain choice here. I don't think it's very consistent in this case, because he takes two big risks by putting a lot on the West Brom defense and on Ericsson as a captain. Obviously, in this case, it paid out, but I think we should not be result orientated. So we should think what's behind that. And in this team, I would have much rather seen like Mane or Sanchez as a captain. I definitely would like that more. And yeah, otherwise we already talked enough about the team, so I think we can switch out of that and look at his final and third team, which we'll be analyzing today. And here we can see he changed something in the formation. He changed to a 4-4-2, and Redmond went to the bench, and Maris got slotted in, and in the defense he slotted in Fabio as the defender. First, I did not like this choice because I don't think Fabio had a very convincing showing in his first game. But in the second game, I was pretty convinced. He was really offensively very strong and was a lot of taking taking. Sorry for that. He was just analyzing a lot of attacking moves from his team. He did provide a lot of crosses, and yeah, I think he was pretty good though. Even though he got yellow, so he got obviously no bonus points as well. Walker, obviously the same explanation in this team here is for Lloris. I think this what come to his mind was Tottenham will win 1 or 2-0, and so he does not need the offensive plays of Tottenham. He just went with Kane because he's the penalty shooter, and he didn't captain him because he did not think Tottenham would make it a big score in this game. And this is a very consistent choice regarding he took two defendants of Tottenham. I really like that. And obviously then he stick to the field players of Middlesbrough who could still win high and provide assists, because if the defendants are not providing assists, they don't have that much likely to score bonus points. So I like the choice of Lloris in the goal then by not captain Kane. So this is a pretty nice choice. Obviously, Sanchez captain was a pretty awesome choice. Was not that uncommon though. I don't want to go too deep into that. But with this lineup and consistency, I like making Sanchez captain. It's a really good choice. And also putting Mahrez in is definitely a good choice. He's the first penalty shooter of Leicester and maybe the one player who's really convincing in this season. So I definitely like him. And I think it's a very consistent and good team. So you can see like this player usually picks just teams who are very, very consistent and are really like making sense just by seeing them and analyzing them. What are the thoughts behind that? So he has a clear vision, what he expects for a result, and then nominates his team. So this is pretty awesome, and you can learn a lot of that, I guess. So compliment to him. He's really a great player, and even I always take a look at his teams to see if I forgot something or if I can learn something else. And you should definitely do that, because if you don't understand something of the choice of a player like this caliber, you probably are the one who is making the mistake and not this player. Obviously, even such players will make mistakes, like you can see with his bench, but still there will be a thought behind that. So I definitely like that, and yeah, I hope to see you the next time. So please leave us some feedback. What did you like? What did you not like? What we can make better? And it would be awesome if you would be on board with us next time, to the next time for the series. This was Tim for 11 Heroes. Bye bye. See you next time.